Hello everyone, I'm Bella and thank you for joining me for another frog food. Today will be a Speedpaint commentary Today is a Speedpaint commentary where we will discuss balancing art and life. If you like my art and want to see more of it, you should follow me on Instagram at Bella of My Froggy Stuff. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe and all the good stuff. So let's get started. For this piece, I drew on my iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil, and I used Procreate with the brushes. I used a technical pen that I adjusted the streamline to make it more streamlined. Well, sometimes I didn't. I just toggle with it. And then I made it more sensitive to pressure. So yeah. And this piece took, well, let me check. 36 hours and 52 minutes. Shorter than the last one, but the last one was like 55 hours. So that's not saying much. But at least I'm getting faster. Which is a great segue into today's topic. Balancing art and life. The thing I struggle with the most right now out of everything in my life. I'm obsessed with self-improvement, and not in like a quirky way where you're like, yeah, I'm obsessed. No, I'm obsessed. It's clinical. I'm literally always drawing. I wake up and I draw. I draw when I should be sleeping. I draw when I should be eating. I'm always drawing. And I'll sit down and like, oh yeah, I'll do this for like an hour. And it's like 6 hours passes. And that's really bad because I will do that at like, until like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I went with sleep. So, and it also ties into the fact that I'm terrified of forgetting how to draw.
That makes no sense.
It makes a ton of sense.
That makes no sense.
No, okay, listen. You hear a lot of people say that like, they used to draw when they were younger and now they don't anymore. So they kind of lost it. And like, cause you don't use it, you lose it.
Okay, that's true, because I don't draw nearly as well as I did when I was younger.
Exactly. So I'm so terrified of that I'm like, well, I have to do it all the time. And I always have to do it 10 times better than I last did it. Because otherwise, then what's the point of doing it? Like, that's the terrible mindset I'm in right now.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about trying to outdo yourself, because that's something that I do all the time.
Oh yeah. It's just like, okay, so I feel like one of my most popular comments is, you get 10 times better every time I see you. Or like even you said, like, you can look at my thumbnails, because I only have like 8 videos right now. But you can look at my thumbnails and tell that like each one is significantly better than the last one. You know, at least in like difficulty. So that's me being obsessed with being better than I last was, which is good. It's good to have healthy ambition, but this is the point where it's like not good. Like, you know?
Are you feeling a little stressed? Because I feel stressed sometimes by trying to always outdo myself.
Yeah, and then everything just becomes not enjoyable at all. But like, I end up hating drawing while I'm doing it because it's just so stressful. But I'm also terrified of losing my abilities, so I keep myself doing it.
Okay, but that's not me, because I don't hate what I do.
Oh, I don't hate what I do. Like, I always like it after I do it. What I do is like, I'll make something and I'll hate it while I do it. Like, I hated Metro when I was drawing it for some reason. And so, well, I know the reason. But, so what I do is I'll post a picture of it on Instagram, or I'll post a picture of it on my story, because everything looks better on camera. Everything does. And sometimes seeing it through like a screen can help you legitimize it a little bit, you know? Because seeing it in like the iPad is like, ew, what is that?
It sounds to me like we just really need to find a healthy balance between ambition and not putting too much stress on yourself, because you want it to be enjoyable.
Yeah, you do. But sometimes it's like, do I care about this being enjoyable more than I care about looking good?
You know what though? With practice, you will naturally get better. So you're kind of stressing for
no reason. Yeah, that's the problem. No reason. But the 100% number one reason why everything just becomes so stressful is because I'm constantly comparing myself to other people's work. That's the way I learned how to draw, though. So it's kind of like ingrained in my brain in a way. I've never been like, I could never really just draw from imagination. I've never been like that. I've always been, I can draw what I see. You know, but through animated stuff, you want your own style, you want your own characters and stuff. So I just constantly am changing things, constantly meshing things together, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing. But I'm always looking at other artists as well as a standard for what I want to get at. And so, like, if I don't get to that standard, then I'm like, well, this is terrible.
I feel like I'm kind of becoming like the lesson of the day police here. I really think that it's important to not compare yourself to others, rather compare yourself to yourself.
But it's different for you. Like, it's easy for you to say that because you're at the top of your game.
I don't feel like I'm at the top of my game.
You are. You're the standard that people strive to be at.
No, so there are so many artists out there whose skill level is far surpasses mine. And I do see their stuff, and I appreciate their art, but I don't punish myself for not being at their level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is don't compare yourself to someone else because you don't know what their journey has been. You know, they've gotten different skills, they could have been doing it a lot longer, and it's just not healthy to try to compare yourself to someone who's just doing something completely different than you're doing.
Yeah, and also people that I know, a lot of the artists that I'm obsessed with and really love, they've been doing it for like 11 years. Like, they're professional illustrators, like, have made mangas, stuff like that, and they've been doing this forever. I've only been doing digital art for like 2 years now. Is it 2 years? It'll be 2 years in July. So, yeah. So I guess the moral of the story is that you shouldn't spend too much time comparing yourself to other people because you're just wasting time you could be using to draw and further your obsession. Now let's talk about balancing school and art. This is the thing that I'm like so nervous about. When I first started doing digital art last March in 2020, school basically ended March 13th. Like, it was basically over. And so I had all this time to just draw. And then school started back up, but it was online, and I wasn't really managing my time. Like, I got straight A's and stuff, like I still got through it, but I was not managing my time. I was procrastinating a little bit. A lot of times classes let out early. Oh, first semester actually, we had half days all first semester. So like, you're done at like 1 o'clock. You have the whole day to yourself. And then I had a lot of classes where like, at my design class, it was really easy. So I was just like, finish everything for the week and then have a ton of time to just draw, you know? But going back to face-to-face, I can't really do that. And I don't know where I'm gonna get this time to do stuff from. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And school in and of itself is a beast. I'm trying to get into college, and I'm trying to get into a pretty selective, very selective college. And so I need to take AP classes to like even be noticed, you know? So AP classes are a different type of insane. They're just crazy, and I take multiple at the same time. Or at least I didn't this year, which is another thing. I only took one AP class and during online school, and I'm going back to 2. But I decided to no longer take ones that I'm not like super good in. I was on the sim program, and I took AP chemistry, and that was awful. So now I'm only taking like language arts, social studies, things I'm really strong in, but still they just take up a lot of time. So the challenge is balancing school and art, and the solution logically is to just schedule. I just schedule everything out, and I have to listen to it. The problem is I'm terrible at following schedules. I make a lot of schedules, and then I don't listen to them, and I make them look pretty, nice fonts, nice hierarchy, be feeling it, and I just don't look at it ever again. So for this piece, I told myself I was going to take a week to do it. Exactly. I did, though. I started Monday, and today is Sunday, so this is the last day of this piece. And I was able to do it. I was able to schedule, and I had a lot of other projects to do while doing this, so I would set a timer for an hour and 30 minutes, work on this, and then work on something else. I also broke the days up into what I needed to do, so like I know line art, rough sketch, and like block colors, easy. I can't snap right now. Easy. And then shading takes forever. So if I can spend like 2 days doing the easy stuff, and I have the rest of the week to do the hard stuff, then I know I'll be golden. But yeah. So I did actually do it. I did prove to myself that I can set a schedule and do it. Actually, this piece was supposed to be done a week ago, but I do start. But we're not talking about that. But that, you know, begs the question, can I do it with school in, and can I do it again? And I did have 2 coding classes this week, which is a soft introduction. It was very soft. They were only an hour. School is 8 hours, but yeah, we're starting to try and figure it out. But overall, I need to draw faster, guys. I need to draw faster. And that's why today's piece is so perfect, because it's called Sprint, and we're trying to draw faster. Even though when I drew that, that's not what I thought. I was just like, that's a pretty word. And we have shoes. That works. But it works. So, you know, destiny. It just, energy, connection, spiritual, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like I said before, for this week, I used a timer for my projects. I did an hour and 30 minutes on this, and then like an hour and 30 minutes on something else, and then just alternated between that. And for the most part, I listened to it. The timer would go off, and I would be like, well, just 2 more minutes. But then for the most part, I was doing it. So that helped with time management. And in an effort to actually draw faster, I started to try to do these like timed art prompts, like 10 minutes of just like some random thing like book or cute or cat, and just draw something along those lines, right? I haven't been doing them recently, but I try. But the good thing about timed art prompts, and even from doing just a few of them, I noticed like a significant difference in my mindset when drawing stuff is like you focus more on form and shape than you do with details. And so like say it's hand, and you just do the shapes of the hand really quickly, and you get more like expressiveness. You know what I mean? Like you get the lines and become more exaggerated when you just draw, just trying to do it fast. But like say you're doing a hand, I won't focus on like every little line. I'll just focus on like the main defining characteristics. Like there's a line here for some sort of crease there. The crease is right here in between your fingers. Maybe like one of the ones in your palm, but not like, I don't focus on getting all the detail because you just want to be able to look at it and tell hand, you know? And deciding on the project is also a massive part of time management. But when I do tutorials, I've only done like 2, but when I do tutorials, they only take like 3 days. One planning, and then thumbnail, and then I film, right? But the posters take like a week. But my posters are my wow factor. Like, that's where I show off my skill. They just take so long. So if I know that I have school or like a lot of stuff going on in school, I should do a tutorial. But if I have a break or like a week of no homework, then I should focus on a poster. This piece also went way faster because I didn't draw an environment. Those take forever, and I also don't draw them as much, so I'm like so inexperienced with that. Yeah, but again, I'll just like manage when I have time. I'll do harder things, and when I don't have time, I'll just do simple things. Like the background of this piece is like graffiti, a graffiti wall thing. I don't know where they are, but there's graffiti where they are. And yeah, it wasn't simple, it was tedious, but it wasn't like drawing a castle like I did in Sailor Moon 1. Like, you know, I intended on doing water, but I was just so unfamiliar with it that I was like, you know, maybe not today. Maybe that's not what we're gonna do. So with this, I was able to get a background and have like interesting stuff going on without having to draw something crazy and still like set a mood, which is what I think I want to focus on more. I think I want to focus more on like panels and setting moods like in a cinematic sort of way, where like, you know, you see like shots of movies where there's like stuff going on in the background with like a close-up, but you don't see. It's like a dot with Gaussian blur. Like that's what that is, you know? And I think, but you still have that like, oh wow, like I can feel stuff. That's what I want to focus more on. So the moral of the story is manage your time because you need to. Yeah. And plan, I guess. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You know? So, and sleep. I'll try to not stay up at 6 drawing anymore. I'll try. No promises, but I'll try. The piece should be done by now, so you can stare at it. It was nice. It was made for a cool Instagram post. I did some cool things with eyes. A lot of airbrushing. A lot. Practicing that. Nice legs. Spandex. Haven't done a lot of spandex, but it was cool. Creases and clothes. I'm also trying to get better at clothes because, like, you know, but thank you for joining me for another Frog Food, Speed Paint, and commentary. If you have any time management tips, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. I need them, and I'm sure other people do too. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff and the Frog Vlog, and follow me on Instagram at Bella of MyFroggyStuff. And we will see you next time. Bye!